take that job. Does that make sense? So that would be one example. There's plenty of them. I'm always happy to talk to you about your particular group. Next, from the anti-violence movement, we learned that, how can I say it? The anti-violence movement, by that I mean the anti-rape and domestic violence movement, as they tried to deal with racism within feminism, what came out was that some feminists of color were very interested in working in multiracial organizations and helping those organizations to become anti-racist organizations and to provide services to women of all classes and cultures. But we also learned that a number of women who were absolutely straight-up feminists were much more interested in working within their own communities and setting up a rape crisis center in the Latina community or in the Black community. And so there, the task was for the white-dominated movement, which had more resources, to funnel those resources to people and let go of the power and say, we're going to trust you to do anti-rape work in your own, we're not going to tell you what, we're just going to be your ally. Does that make sense? And so recognizing that both are going to be needed. The other thing that the anti-violence movement taught us, oh right, avoid the oppression Olympics. I had that one down here too. Right, I see.
Have Dallas's extra minutes that she left.
Oh, I can? Oh, thank you so much. She said I can have Dallas's extra minutes that she didn't use. No, but check it out. Okay, so I'm so happy to see that this conference has some of the brochures from the Food Empowerment Project, which was founded by Lauren Ornelas, who is a friend of mine. She's on the board of our sanctuary. But even if she wasn't, what we would do is what we do, which is when we're going to a conference we know that they're not going to be at, we say, ship us a box of your brochures and we'll put them on our table. And we'll solicit donations for your group too. It can be as simple as that to extend allyship to people. Now, you may or may not have heard of Lauren. Lauren was doing investigations into factory farms probably before most of the people in this room ever thought of being vegan. She founded Viva USA. She's been vegan herself since she was a child. And she's got to be in her late 30s now. But she told the Resistance Ecology Conference about 3 weeks ago that what she found was, even though she had founded Viva USA, when she tried to make it more intersectional, when she tried to attend to things like farm worker issues as well, she encountered hostility within the organization that she founded from animal rights people saying, you're taking the focus away from animals. And so finally she left and she started the Food Empowerment Project, which works, I'm telling you people, this is the cutting edge of animal lib social justice intersectionality. And what she told us at this past conference is that it's not just that she's not getting sufficient kudos, and it's not just that they're not getting sufficient donations, she's actually gotten blowback from people in the animal lib movement. This is the kind of thing that has to be fixed. We need to be absolute steadfast allies for people within the movement who are actually trying to do this intersectional work. Okay, what are some special problems that we face within our movement? I've been saying here's from this movement, here's from that. We do face some special problems. One of them has to do with the oppression Olympics. We think that the animals win the oppression Olympics, and it's true. The animals do win the oppression Olympics because every group of people, regardless of how subordinated they are among people, claims the right to subordinate animals. Yes? But here's the thing. We're not them. We're their advocates. So Andrea Smith, a Native American, vegetarian or vegan, I'm not sure which, supporter of animal rights. She's also the co-founder of Inside Women of Color Against Rape, Against Violence, told a conference in 2005 that what she thought was a huge problem, and I'm saying it to you all because it really is. Yeah, I see, I'm wrapping up, is that animal advocates will over-identify with animals. In other words, you're aware that everybody oppresses animals, and you feel like you're the voice of the voiceless. And so you're advocating for hens in battery cages. You know that they don't have any rights that any human being is bound to respect. And so your feeling as you're advocating for them is that you're the hen. And so you may forget that you're not in fact a hen. You are in fact a person who has maybe white privilege, maybe male privilege, maybe heterosexual privilege, maybe class privilege. And you'll forget that as you're doing this advocacy, and that will make you make mistakes, practical mistakes. It will make you say things that may be true. Maybe you have some abstract right to say, but they're not useful things to say to this particular audience in this particular circumstance. Does that make sense? Okay, so quickly, the things, I'm totally against the word abolitionist, sorry. Absolutely against the word. I think it's implicitly white. I think it presumes a comparison that many people find problematic. And I also think it highlights an exclusionary streak within the movement that makes people feel less rather than more welcomed, and is absolutely not the tenor of things where we want to build a more inclusive movement. I think we need to think very carefully about, I think we need to avoid easy analogies. Frankly, I just avoid all analogies. But certainly avoid overly easy analogies. 3, understand that animal liberation and promotion of veganism they're linked, but they're not exactly the same thing. I would end the vegan litmus test. I think there's all kinds of work that could be done on zoos and vivisection, etc., by people who are not ready to be vegan yet, but who would give us energy to ending fur, for example. And we could probably end fur and not and cosmetic vivisection if we had that energy. Please resist the urge to identify vegans as an oppressed group. Oh God. I know it sounds wonderful when Melanie Joy says it. It's not true. You're not. And then finally, be fully intersectional. There's 2 different panels on intersectionality. I hope to see everybody. I hope to see people at both of those. I'll be at the second one where I'll be trying to do a wrap up of things that are said of all of them. And that's all. Thank you. I'm sorry I went over.